The Shut Your Mouth Lounge Christmas episode, or final Christmas episode, actually, come to think of it.
I don't
This
think...
is true.
Like, the thing is, if memory serves, we haven't had an episode on Christmas. Like, we haven't had an episode that fell on any of the days of Christmas. We might have had episodes discussing Christmas, like, before or after it. But none of them, like, fell on the day of.
Yeah, the schedule's changed enough times, and plus, I think there's probably at least one occasion where it fell on Christmas Day, and either me or Pink said,
Yeah, I definitely think there's been a once in the past where we had to move the podcast day itself because we didn't want it to interfere with Christmas.
So, yeah, I mean, this being recorded the day after, it's keeping with patterns, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Christmas enough that that like shops still do their like Christmas opening hours and shit, at least over here. So like, you know.
Yeah, I think in a lot of Europe they still handle like the idea of the 12 days of Christmas rather than just the one day that we do here.
Oh
in the
no,
States.
it's 3.
Really?
Yeah. So in theory,
Ain't nobody agreeing on these numbers.
yeah, we celebrate quote unquote 3 days of Christmas. You have the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. The 25th is technically Christmas Day. The 24th is supposed to be the day before, and then the day after, and those are just days off, so you can get ready for Christmas and like get over Christmas more or less.
Yeah.
The thing is, a lot of people, including us, celebrate Christmas on the 24th. Because whatever, fuck it, get it over with.
Yeah. We hate this shit.
Now, but you know, like there's not really a thing of like whatchamacallit. Like it's less of a hassle for people generally to either hold it only on the 4th or the 24th or the 25th. So like people just decide if they want to hold it on the day before, and then that's Christmas, and then the 25th you just have a day off, like a proper actual day off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or people celebrate it on the 25th, but like I haven't seen anyone do that. I just heard that that's a thing that people do.
If you do find someone doing that, you should like bottle them up and start researching them.
Yeah.
Hey, don't laugh. I think it's a good idea.
But
Who
yeah,
are you
anyway.
to deny it? No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Oh no!
saying stupid shit now.
I was gonna move on.
Oh, to where? I'm so scared.
Good question. Pink.
Yeah.
My tube.
Your tube.
Yes.
Oh.
All right,
on
Pink. What do you think
YouTube.
Eddie's coming out with on his channels this week?
On Addy's YouTube, if I remember correctly, he's gonna always have Kingdom Hearts coming out until the end of time. He's gonna have I feel like there was some other long-running thing that's supposed to be coming out pretty consistently on his end, but I can't remember for the life of me what it was. Unless I'm just losing my mind.
No, you're correct so far. There's 4 videos coming out this upcoming week. So
It's I know Kingdom Hearts is one of them. Then oh, help me out. What's the other long-running
Digimon
channel?
Survive.
That's it, Digimon and Kingdom Hearts. Those are the 2 that I know, or at least should know, but don't know apparently because I couldn't remember it. And then if you got 2 others, I don't know what the 2 others could be.
All right, on January 1st.
One thing that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh. Well, there's one thing that he like plays a different one of every week.
And what is that?
Okay, we're giving up the game of Pink being able to guess this stuff. Fighting games, almost certainly, right? Right there, Addy?
Yes. So.
Oh,
So on January 1st, Bloody Roar 4, the bad one, we destroyed Durg.
Oh.
Dog or Durg?
Durg. which is
Durg.
very shorthand for
That's a dog
dragon.
in Louisiana.
Durg is very shorthand for dragon. I don't know when it started being a thing. There's also some funny ones like this because like there's Dirk for dragon and there's Yin for hyena. People try to. I've seen many people try to do this with raccoons and get banned.
Oh, yep. No, you can't do that.
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, so
What's up?
Dune bought me a game for Christmas, but I had already bought it and couldn't redeem it because of that. I sent him a thing on Discord that I'll have to decline it because of that, and then I think he just bought me something else, like right now.
Well, he's getting that shit done.
He bought me Chrono Trigger. That's good. I like that game.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, the other one was also good. Like he chose so correct that like he got me a game that I bought in the meantime. So
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Where were we? I am.
All right. Your week. Well, not your week. What am I saying? That's the old. That's the format that's older than old by now.
Yeah.
But no, the things that are coming out on your YouTube thing.
Yes. So, Bloody Roar 4, which is the bad one. We destroyed the dragon, and finally, Kratos smokes too much skooma.
What?
Okay then. He's not only traveled to the Elder Scrolls universe, he's also taken up drug addiction.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is also an old Twitter video. I don't know what happened. I was playing through God of War 3 on PS4, and it was fine. And there's this part where you have to go across the bridge and then go into like a building that's full of traps and shit. And I walk across the bridge. The game looks fine. I go into the building, and the building has clown vomit. Just made up of it.
Oh no.
It's just full of fucking clown vomit. It genuinely looked like I fucking gave it a manual blast on a corruptor. But it was on the PS4, so I couldn't.
Oh lord.
It just corrupted itself, naturally. And then... And yeah, like it's the video is me going in and just looking at that, and then the video ends because I didn't know what to do. But yeah, after that, if memory serves, after that I went into the next room. I just climbed the clown vomit. I went to the next room, and the next room was fine. Like this never happened again.
Okay. My memory was that the PS4 version of God of War 3 was a pretty impeccable port.
Revengeance.
It always happens. I don't know how you do it.
I mean, the thing is, like, it only happens when I start getting bored of a game. So...
Yeah. I don't know how it reads that.
Actually, not even that. I just thought about it. But when we played Bloodborne, like I know for a fact that when we were at the board, I wasn't like bored of the game, and yet the board happened anyway. Like I can say that, but like usually it only triggers of me being bored of the game, and then it just does something funny or something fucked up. so I won't be bored anymore.
Okay, well, I mean that is a pretty strong power.
Yeah.
I think you should use it for good, though. Just a suggestion.
I should go into QA and not get paid and get disregarded. Then again, if it's like a special power to make games fuck up in unique ways, then genuinely the QA data would be useless. because it's a unique case. They can fix that.
Yeah, the other QA guys would step up to try and imitate the bug, and it wouldn't happen. They'd be like, "What the fuck?" I reiterate: use this power for good. Do not annihilate the lives of the QA teams.
Yeah.
Drive them insane. Their lives are already hard enough. We've only got one guy in the fucking office that can make this bug happen. We've all seen him do it, but no one else can do it.
It's like the fucking it's like the yellow sigil, or whatever, the yellow sign. they come in, yeah.
You've got the evil magic, the Lovecraft thing.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, yeah, the rest of your YouTubes.
Yeah. Yeah. Aside from that, it's just whatchamacallit, Digimon Survive, where Aoi we learn about Aoi that whenever she's in distress, she invokes her favorite game, Yeek.
Oh no.
But that's about it. Pink?
Yeah, on my channel, I'm gonna be uploading, allegedly, uploading the Marvel Rivals content that I didn't upload last week, and the Overwatch content that I didn't upload last week.
All right.
And that's it.
W?
I believe the Overwatch stuff I had stocked up runs out, and I don't really have anything to replace it with, so possibly nothing.
Just upload images of Santa Claus getting closer.
But Christmas is over.
Upload a video of Santa Claus getting further.
Yeah, upload the images, like still images rendered in a video file that's like 10 seconds long, of like New Year baby, Big Show getting closer.
Oh, no. He needs to be getting further away. That much is for certain. I'll not be party to that horse shit.
Upload those videos and fucking like tweet them at Paul White. This is your legacy.
I don't think I will.
This is your legacy.
You know, I think he probably catches enough heat. Oh no, wait. Okay, my brain just had the absolute dumbest fart. I mixed up Paul White and Paul Levesque. And I was about to say he gets enough heat from fans reminding him of Katie Vick. Which, like, no, he doesn't. He wasn't involved in that.
Although,
really.
Imagine if he was in the place of Triple H. He climbs on the casket and the table folds.
And he's been in Adam Sandler movies, and that would absolutely be an Adam Sandler bit.
Yeah.
You know, fart noise as it collapses as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I've got nothing much coming up. Though, come to think of it, I actually forgot that this week I was like, oh, we're not going back. I don't need to be running Firefox in the background here. No, actually, I still got to look at what's coming up on the group channel. So let me go check that. Quick, somebody buy time.
All right.
I can buy time.
Go ahead, Pink.
I actually don't know. I thought I had something, but I don't.
Oh no.
There's something I wanted to comment on earlier, but I've forgotten what that something was. What was it? I don't remember. Addy, help. What was I going to say?
I'm trying to think. What did we talk about? We talked about the lack of content.
That's
New Year Big Show.
New York big shit. What?
His team does say that he's a big smelly dog fart, so close enough.
And New York.
All right, Time successfully purchased. All right. So, on December 27th, Friday, God Hand Part 2. December 28th, Saturday, King of Colosseum 2 Part 1. December 29th, Sunday, For Honor Part 10. December 30th, Monday, Danganronpa Part 33. December 31st, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Part 2. January 1st, Wednesday, actually. Payday 2 Part 43. January 2nd, Thursday, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 Part 3. There you go.
Very nice.
Now, I believe it's time that we discuss Christmas
We
conceptually.
could do that. We could do that.
I was gonna
This
do
is
my
the last Christmas podcast, so this has to be the one for all the marbles, boys.
yeah. I was gonna do my impression of the grandmother character from Rhapsody Street Kids, and then I remembered that I don't have one.
I don't even know what that is.
Rhapsody Street Kids is a Christmas special. It's a Christmas animated movie from like 2001 or so.
This is
Something like
already
that.
sounding terrible.
Yeah, it's early 3D. It looks like ass. The voice cast is all people you know. Like it's the voice of Ariel, and like I think Mark Hamill and shit like that. And yeah, so it's people like that lending their voices. I forget who the grandma character is, like which voice actress they got for her, but for some reason, either because the most of the voice files for her recordings were lost, or just in general they just thought it was funnier. Her lines are cut to hell, and so she just like she speaks like Boomhauer, not Boomhauer, maybe Boomhauer. Is Boomhauer the one that speaks really fast?
Yep.
Okay, so imagine
that dang old man.
yeah, okay, so imagine if they did that, but it's not the voice actor doing it. They cut the voice lines to sound like that, and then she just says Christmas, and that's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you can understand. It's a bunch of fucking nothing gibberish, like Christmas,
Oh,
and that's her dialogue. It's great.
Sounds pretty great.
Like
talking
Rhapsody,
about that dang old celebrity desperation for money.
yeah. Like it's one of those things where like, by the way, the studio that did this movie, was completely new, if memory serves, something like that. They had like maybe one other movie under their belt and shit like that. So like people speculate that that there might have been some blackmailing or something like that, because where the fuck did they get the money? Mainly.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rhapsody Street
Oh,
Kids.
Jesus.
It's great. I watch it every couple of years. Like not the full movie. I watched reviews of it, which is close enough.
Okay.
And it's a hoot. It's like genuinely I would say it's about on par with Killer Bean.
Oh, well, Killer Bean's like a passion project, but from a crazy person.
Yeah.
I was kind of figuring, when you were describing this, I was thinking, this sounds like Food Fight.
No, kind of. I guess it's between Killer Bean and Food Fight. Yeah. Like it's not a passion project. Although the voice actors, being like actual real fucking actors, like real voice actors and shit, they do a good job. But like aside from that, a goodish. But whatever. But aside from that, like it's just a thing of like this thing exists, and like someone looked at this script, they looked at this movie, and they said, yes, this is good, and this aired on TV once.
Just once.
Yeah, literally once. On MTV, if memory serves.
Boy.
Like I think it was lost media for a while. It might still be. Honestly, I don't remember like the whole movie. We have a lot of clips from it, but I don't know if we have the full movie. I could probably just look it up. Not that any of us really cares that much, but shit, whatever. Options here. We're turning this into our FCT Street Kids watch along.
Oh no, we ain't. Oh no, we aren't. I didn't agree to this shit. I didn't agree to this shit. Get me out of here.
I mean, if the whole thing is uploaded, I will. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Yes. 2002. It is seemingly uploaded. Here's a minute-long thing. Let me see. That. All right. Here's a minute. Here's a minute of Grandma. so you understand Grandma.
That's a sentence right there. Here's a minute of Grandma.
Yeah.
Oh god, that looks horrible.
Yep. The uploader.
Against my better judgment, let us visit the site.
Oh, that's not even the uploader. That's just a person. All right. Someone commented it. It's a pinned comment under this video. Merry Christmas. This video ruined my life.
This looks like Windows Movie Maker, like Windows Animator or whatever.
Oh, 3D
Microsoft
Movie
Animation
Maker?
Studio.
Yeah, it does kind of look like 3D Movie Maker. Fucking hell.
Indiscernible grandma noises.
I think this is all of her dialogue, by the way, in the movie.
This is horrible.
Isn't it?
Yes, Miles.
This is the one. Yeah, like this is the one that I remember her for. Grandma, you always know what to say. Christmas! I love Rhapsody Street Kids Grandma. She's great.
So,
yeah.
So Mike, like a week ago, found and sent me a video that I am now sending you guys. Because that reminded me of this. Albeit with a very different energy to it.
Oh.
That title is already a winner.
This also looks like...
You're at here!
You didn't read the whole thing. You're at here, fucker!
Yeah.
This really looks like 3D Movie Maker.
Because it is!
Oh!
That was amazing.
I feel like at the end of that, it should cut to the fucking leather media thing that they reviewed. They reviewed like a car insurance company made like a propaganda video to make sure that old people don't get to drive. And like, yeah, I feel like you show this and then you hard cut to that.
Uploaded October of 2006, by the way.
Nice.
That's the infancy of YouTube right there.
Oh yeah, that's the outlaw days.
Yeah.
Shit just happened back then.
That's when Grandpa could find the car keys.
Oh. Oh boy, yeah, that's the spirit of Christmas, boys. Right there.
I'm feeling pretty jolly myself after witnessing all of that.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
All right. So, Christmas as a concept, really, what do you think the deal is?
All right, I
You
guess
know?
I guess I'll go ahead because I'm probably the one with the most like overall negative opinion on Christmas.
Or life in general?
Yeah, true. But yeah, I don't like Christmas just because like it's high tension time of the year, and uh honestly that's it. Really,
Oh,
that's my main gripe with Christmas, that it's high tension, and I don't like high tension.
That's fair.
That and also like I get injured every Christmas or New Year's, so there's still a chance.
huh?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Every year since I've been born, I get injured on Christmas or New Year's.
But why?
It just happens. It's just the way of the world. Like some fucking cosmic entity. Like, you know, if I were a bigger piece of shit, I would say God, but like I don't ascribe the ill will to God to do this. So like cosmic entity is just every year is just like, all right, it's the holidays. He needs to fucking to feel pain.
Well, Pink, do you get injured every Christmas?
Thankfully, no. I don't think
Okay,
I've ever
good.
gotten injured on a Christmas, so I'm in the clear in that regard.
All right, sweet. Addie, important question. How many of the injuries are the result of someone's gift? Yours or someone else's?
None.
Okay, are we talking minor injuries like paper cuts and stubbed toes, or are we talking like sprained ankles?
Well, usually it's minor. Well, it's somewhere between, like, you know, I guess it's a medium whatchamacallit injury, because it's like it's not a paper cut. It's usually it's usually like, you know, I hit I hit some part of myself that gets like bruised or stuff like that. Or like a couple of years ago, that's when my knee fucking dislocated. That was the worst one thus far. Thus far.
Oh,
But yeah,
yeah.
literally, no, it would have been more. I don't remember, whatever, but like, yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, my knee dislocated literally on Christmas Day. Well, on the 24th, which is Christmas Day for us. Like during the Christmas celebration thing. So yeah, nice.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. And so yeah, basically, you know, my negative perception of the holidays, of the year-end holidays, like Christmas and New Year's, is partially high tension and partially I always get fucking injured. Like I can't really tie it to good memories that much. It's a mixture of good and bad.
I see.
And like it's nobody's fault that I get injured. I just do. Something happens, like some freak fucking accident always occurs. Wait,
Well, I would hope that it's no one's fault.
actually, I already no. Never mind. I'm fucking clear for New Year's. Because the whatchamacallit, the gift I got this year actually injured me already. So
Oh,
What?
it was minor, so I didn't really ascribe any importance to it, but it did. So I suppose it already happened. I hope. Uh, so yeah. Anyway,
well, shit.
all right. Y'all talk about Christmas then. I don't really have much else to say.
Pink, does anything weird happen to you every Christmas?
I don't believe so. I think I've got a pretty standard affair when it comes to Christmas time on my end.
Okay, good to know. Well, in that just throws me for a whirl, honestly.
What?
That.
But what did I get injured every Christmas or New Year's?
Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, the weirder part to me is that, like, okay, you know, the roads are slippery and shit. I mean, I never get injured outside, but whatever. Let's pretend. So, like, you know, the roads are slippery and shit. So whatever. But like, it's genuinely always either Christmas or New Year's. It's never both. It's never neither. It's always one of them. That's the weird part to me. Like, I will be shocked when I don't get injured at all on either of them, because that means the cycle is broken. Maybe. Whatever cycle this is.
Good lord. All right. Oh, you know, I just looked over and I realized that for Christmas I got catnip, and I have not yet given the cat her drugs.
It's your catnip now.
I just don't think it'd have the same appeal for myself. I can't enjoy it on as many levels as the cat does.
You can still smoke it. Probably.
I don't know about that, brother.
You can smoke anything with enough dedication.
I don't know about that, brother. Oh boy, yeah. It's a little bit odd, isn't it? There's no doggy drugs. And even putting that aside, like, is that not strange how we are with cats? That it's like, yeah, I'm gonna deliberately choose to get the cat high to amuse myself.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a thing of like, you know, how their immune system responds. I guess dogs' immune systems just like either don't get high or like we haven't found anything that's safe, and they also get high. You know.
Yeah, I've seen a dog get. I'm not sure if tranquilizer is the right word because that implies a great degree more viciousness. But I've seen a dog get. Oh damn it! What's the word for
I mean,
anesthetic? Oh, anesthetized.
fucking hell, I don't know why, but my thought, my immediate thought for some reason was, well, I guess you could give a dog a doobie. I don't know what the fuck it would do with it, but
I don't think that's a good idea.
no.
Just saying.
I mean, like the most likely way for a dog to get high is probably edibles, but like, why would you do it?
Just to see what happens, I guess, going by this strain of logic.
Yeah. But yeah, do we even know of that many animals that are like known to be high? Because like cats can get high from the catnip. Koalas, if memory serves, they're just high forever because that's what the eucalyptus does to them.
And gives them STD power.
Yeah. But like, do we know of any other animal species that it isn't druggy?
If I
Oh,
recall
boy.
correctly, some dolphins use some species of pufferfish to get high off their what
Poison?
would it be? Poison. Their poison secretions.
Some dolphins use cocaine.
Yeah,
They just do.
basically.
And then they write like a fucking dozen movie scripts. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. You know, there was a drug prevention thing in the school that I work at recently, like 2 weeks ago or so. And so for context, the principal is an established writer. Like he, I told you all this before, but like he had a play in the actual like theater that they like, showed off, and that was adapted from his book. So like pretty established writer by now, and like poet
Yeah.
otherwise. So yeah. So there he was at the drug prevention thing. The guy he called in to talk about it was a musician, and with a straight face, they said that the arts, like they said that good art can be done with drugs, as it too has just finished airing in the movie theater. you know, like genuinely, like I get the message, I agree with them, but also it's incorrect. Like it is factually incorrect. A lot of art that we consume was written on drugs. That's just how it is. Or just just dull on drugs. In general. Like my favorite thing is favorite thing with this is like there's a song from the 70s called Inagada da Vida. And that song was supposed to be called In the Garden of Eden. But the guy was so fucking off his horse that he couldn't pronounce In the Garden of Eden.
Nice.
So that's why it's Inagada da Vida.
Good Lord. All right. In other drug-related business, no. Is this going to be one of those podcasts where we actually just avoid talking about Christmas the whole time?
Maybe. We need to put up Fallout New Vegas to be able to talk about Christmas.
You may be right, but we'll never know. Oh boy, well, do we want to start by discussing this specific Christmas thing, just as a point of starting off?
We can do
we
that.
could.
All right. All right, so boys, how was Christmas Day yesterday?
It was good.
Oh, well, that's not interesting. Have a shittier day.
Oh.
I didn't celebrate Christmas yesterday because it was the day before for us. But yesterday I watched, like I spent Christmas watching critically acclaimed movies such as No Country for Old Men, Fargo, and Sonic 3.
Oh shit! What did you think of Fargo first?
Fargo I thought was mechanically this is the problem of me first and foremost being a video game critic, even though I work in movies.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the technique of how it was made, it was well done. One of the things that I noticed from the Coens is that I like their use of hand cams. They actually have like a proper dramaturgical reasoning for why they're switching to hand cams instead of just, well, it's all the thing that the people do,
Yep.
So I like that. And otherwise, it was competently made. There was a lot of shots where I couldn't fucking imagine how much, how angry people were basically behind the camera, because there was a lot of shots where you could see that it was the first take. And or like if it wasn't, then I don't fucking know how much time and money they put into re-snowing the ground.
Oh.
Because there were a lot of scenes where it was a proper snowed in ground, and if they have done takes there already, then you would see, but there weren't any marks of people having been there, so that was the first take. More or less, from what I can tell. And a lot of the movie was first takes. So that's impressive. Steve Buscemi is a very good Weasel.
Yes. That is more distinctively one of the movies that people think of for Steve Buscemi being a weasel who then dies horribly.
Yeah, I mean that kind of just seems like he's typecast because that was also his thing in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, he doesn't die in Reservoir Dogs.
He doesn't, but he's still a weasel. Like it's one of those things where like, although like I have to wonder, because like you know, I've done casting for my diploma film, and the person who might not even actually have time to act in the movie, but whatever, the person I wanted for my protagonist, you know, the protagonist has a certain whatchamacallit, he has a certain character to him that is the actual part that you're supposed to play, and then there's a part to him that's supposed to be innate that you're supposed to get from the looks. The guy fit the looks perfectly, and then I described to him the sort of character that he is, and he thought that I was insulting him.
Oh,
And so like I gotta wonder, what like how Steve Buscemi felt, considering that every time that they talk about his character, they just say, "Oh yeah, the guy looks funny."
yeah. Yeah, it's I remember at one point I was seeing a bit of an interview with the chick who would going to play Dolores Umbridge. Well, actually, she had already played Dolores Umbridge in the Harry Potter movies, and she said that she hadn't read the movies, she read the books, but she was recommended by a few friends, like, "Oh, you'd be perfect for that role." And she read a little bit of the books on the character, and what she read was, you know, she's an ugly toad-like hag that everybody hates because she's just such a natural bitch that everybody hates, and she's the worst ever. I hope she dies. And the actress just sat there like, well, that was a big compliment that my friends gave me.
Yeah, like there's this thing where like, you know, people, someone has to also be, you know, a fuck up. Someone has to be an asshole. And there are people who exude that energy, even if they're otherwise not dead.
Jackie Earle Haley is an extremely talented actor who probably his second and third, his first most important acting role was Rorschach. His second and third most important acting roles were both pedophiles.
Oh.
Which gets kind of ironic when you think of Rorschach, honestly.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing.
And like Pink, you've seen the Watchmen movie, right, Pink?
Yeah.
Like, it's the bizarre thing about whoever made the call, let's hire this guy who's known for playing pedophiles to play Rorschach. Because, like, Jackie Earle Haley is the Rorschach actor. Like, no one's ever going to do it better than him. He just is what Rorschach should be from the comics.
Yeah.
Like, when are we ever going to find a guy that not only could do all that and also be tiny?
Yeah. Yeah.
And have such a suspiciously strong actual resemblance to the character's face in the comics, too.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's... But yeah, Steve Buscemi is definitely very good in Fargo. Him and oh god damn it, Peter Stormare are a lot of fun to follow as just those two utterly reprehensible scumbags.
Yeah. I also like the part where the Native American guy goes in and fucking beats the shit out of Buscemi.
Yeah.
It was well done because like the thing too is that like it was shot and edited in a way where like I only recognize that it's a Native American guy after like the fourth cut or something like that.
It occurs to me now with the Fargo show, bad things happen to skinny dudes when they get cornered by a Native American dude in a mechanic shop in Coen Brothers stuff.
Oh,
I don't know why.
That wasn't in a mechanic shop. That was in a brothel.
Oh, a brothel. Okay, I thought it was the mechanic that he was being a dick to, and so the eventual mechanic's just like, all right, fuck this, I'm kicking your ass.
But it was the mechanic. The mechanic recommended Buscemi's character to the main guy, and then Buscemi's character got him into trouble with the cops, so he went in and beat the shit out of him.
Right. Oh man, that's the Fargo movie. You forget how many fun little character encounters it has, because it's more or less the Fargo movie is more or less only really about 5 characters. And then
Yeah.
the odd little encounters they have with other people along the way.
Yeah. One thing that I
And
didn't, yeah,
that cast gets smaller as the movie goes on.
yeah. One thing that I didn't like about the movie though is the way they directed, the protagonists, I suppose, the cop lady and the car salesman guy.
William H. Macy, I would honestly what who Pierce Stormare may be the more explicitly like evil, horrible person, but William H. Macy to me is also supposed to be like a very much a bad example of humanity, even if we don't ever see him kill anyone. It's just that he's such a fucking coward bitch that will backstab people, you know?
Yeah, see, I would argue that that the killer dude Stormare, sure, I think that's
Yeah.
him. Yeah, Stormare. He is not a character. He's not a person. He's a tool. In not in the sense that like he's stupid or whatever, but in the sense that like he is less so a character and more so a force of nature. He's there to get the job done.
Oh boy, that goes on to be a thing in some Coen Brothers movies, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, so he's a thing there to get the job done, and then the job is done from his end, and then the only he fucks up at the end, but whatever. But still, like his character is fulfilled in the sense that like he doesn't have a character arc. He is there to be a background extra. He is there to do the job, and he does the job. That's his thing.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the main guy, he is evil. Cause like, this dude, the Stormare, his character is just, his character is a criminal, but that's how can I say this? His character is a criminal, but he's a simple criminal. He does crime. He wants money. That's it.
Yep.
That's his character. Main guy.
He doesn't even really intend to be a criminal. He's just a pathetic failure at civilian life.
Yeah. And then the main guy is just the main guy is the main guy is a car salesman. Like
Yeah.
the most stereotypical car salesman.
Yeah. That's another one of those running themes in Coen Brothers movies of a very simple, cowardly, shitty person who doesn't like think of himself as a bad person and doesn't really directly hurt people at all, very often at all. But how cowardly and short-sighted he is gets a lot of people hurt.
Yeah.
And William H. Macy is very good in that role. That's a very good, that's a very classical character for him.
You see the part that, yeah, go ahead.
Fargo is one of those movies that kind of established the type for pretty well all the actors that didn't already have careers leading into it.
Yeah, the one thing that I didn't like about the direction for some of the characters, for the car salesman guy and the cop lady, was just how awkward they were. And like there's a point where like there's some points where it made sense, but like the main guy was like stumbling over his words got annoying very fast, and then they kept doing it. And the cop lady felt like a robot in more scenes than it made sense in. Like the way she acted was very unnatural, and I'm not saying I could do better, but like I expect better from people who I literally had to learn about in film history.
I actually really am fond of that performance, so I'm surprised to hear that. I mean, she's definitely very personally stilted, but I read that as being that's just the culture she comes from, is very stilted.
I guess I don't know. Like in the scene where she's with Mark or Mike or whatever, the guy that asks her out, like when she's with it. Yeah.
I was just laughing at that character. I remembering him. He's an interesting one.
Yeah, but when she's with him, I can understand her feeling stilted because that's the air of the entire encounter. But when she's like walking in and speaking with like the whatchamacallit, the people at the reception desk in the hotel in whatever other city she's in.
Yeah.
Like I can understand her being a bit tilted there, because she's trying to put on a face. Like basically when she's public facing, I can understand her feeling tilted because then she's just putting on a face. She's trying to be the perfect cop, more or less. But then she does it with her husband. She does it with the guy at the end, or with Stormare at the end, and like it feels less natural those times.
I'll say one thing. To me, a lot of that read as Midwestern over politeness and general awkwardness.
Maybe it might,
Fargo.
yeah.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it might just be a thing of, like, I don't know what the fuck is in the Midwest. Like, I don't know how people there are. I know regular media, they're from there, but, like, that's it.
Oh yeah, and we're not talking, the gentle, normal Midwest that is the Midwest that I come from: Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Detroit, or excuse me, Michigan. There are things outside of Detroit in Michigan, believe it or not. But
I don't believe you.
Michigan is made up of Detroit and Battle Creek.
But yeah, Fargo is a depiction of the deep Midwest, where it is a lot of fucking snow, a lot of empty land. Your neighbor is like 8 gazillion miles away from you. You never see him. You only really ever see anyone when you go into town. And everybody's of like either German or fucking Scandinavian descent. And there is just this really strong culture of aggressive politeness and being really stilted in social interactions, and both parties involved going, this is going fine. I'd like for it to end soon, though, so I can go back to being by myself. So it's a culture that generally the stereotype is in America, that it is a strong culture of a lot of, what's the word? Hard introverts.
Ah.
I'll say that for the final monologue, for the It's a Beautiful Day monologue, I read that as Marge being horrified by what she's seen.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the monologue. The monologue was fine. I'm talking about when she's arresting him.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, well, I'm not sure what my reaction would be if I saw what she was seeing in that moment.
Fair enough. I just figured she'd start shooting
coming
faster.
out of that wood chipper?
Oh, that's Steve Buscemi.
Oh, well,
She just said his name.
That she recognizes the foot.
Yeah.
Okay, now I also really want to know, though, what you thought of No Country. Because that is one with some hard contrasts on opinions in our group.
I guess I'm the breaker then, because like I thought it was fine. Like I didn't think it was great. I didn't think it was shit. I thought it was fine. I thought it was interesting for the most part. I'm trying to think because there was a part in the middle where I was like, okay, this is getting a bit too draggy, but like otherwise I was fine with it,
Okay, yeah, that is very much a contrast, because I don't. You probably weren't checking this kind of stuff because at the time this was just the sort of stupidity that went on with us. But Ted, Mike, and I both adore No Country for Old Men.
I know Ted hates
for
it
a long time, and Ted considers it an abominable piece of shit that the Coen Brothers should be strung up by their nuts from the sky for. And I think that a big part of why he is that way is just because he wants to make us mad.
Yeah. I thought Anton was.
I'll disagree and say that the movie's really boring, and also that he's never going to watch it again, even if he is wrong or whatever, something like that. One of the usual Ted statements.
Yeah. I watched it with my dad, and he also said the same thing. So.
Oh.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you have to consider that, like, my dad, like it is a genuine thing that he said. He doesn't like it because he doesn't understand the plot. So like, yeah.
What's there to not understand?
Well, it's there's a bit of a whatchamacallit, a bit of abstraction. Not much, but there's enough, I guess.
An abstraction.
Usually abstraction
would you mind to elaborate?
There's enough like time jumps and like doing things simultaneously and stuff like that. To where that might be confusing if you're not really trying to make sense of the movie, I guess.
I suppose.
Because like abstraction is usually that, or taking ideas and instead of instead of putting them into the text, you just you show something that is symbolical for it, or you do some other like, or if you're more interesting, if you're actually an interesting filmmaker, you do any of the other things that are not fucking symbolism.
Meh.
Because there's a way to have subtext without symbolism. It's just symbolism is the easiest way. But like, yeah. Like,
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna go deeper into like how subtext can be handled, but we don't need to talk about that.
I want to get back to No Country.
Yeah.
So, how'd you feel about the individual? Like, I'm gonna be a lot more curious about No Country. Like I said, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. How did you feel about the individual characters?
Well, I thought Anton was an interesting force of nature. In the same way, like it's one of those things where like I went into the movie knowing parts of it because I already read an analysis on Reservoir Dogs, which referenced No Country for some fucking reason.
A movie that came out like 15 years later.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't. Not only did it reference No Country, it also was wrong, because that's the one that I told you about. Where it's like, oh, I don't know which part of Reservoir Dogs they were talking about, but it was like, oh well, this is similar to the time in No Country for Old Men where where you could say that the entire movie was a dream that the sheriff had because the things he describes at the end of the movie are what happens in the movie, and like no, that's like 15 steps removed of what's in the text.
Yeah, that is very much one of those things of I really want to feel like I have a special, unique interpretation of the film that no one else ever has.
Yeah.
Which, more power to them, I suppose. I don't think anyone has had that interpretation as anything other than just jerking off.
See, the problem is that like I have to take this as gospel. Like I have to use this as a source by force in my own analysis, and I look at that and I go no. Like
when you ask somebody who has either watched a lot of movies or written a lot of movies, what is a list of the most hackneyed tropes that people do not like because they ruin the story? One of the ones that will rank near the top is "It Was All a Dream."
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. Like, I'm sure part of that is just that guy wants to feel like he's in on an exclusive secret that no one else is in on except him. But there's also a degree there of like, would like anyone actually think this makes the story more interesting? Or like, because I've heard it suggested before that a lot of the writers that use the that do, it was all a dream, do it because they feel that writing a story is by nature kind of dorky and unrealistic, and that all movies must be very, very realistic, and that by making a story a dream, they hedge their bets. But like, No Country is not a fantastical story at all.
I mean, the only fantastical thing is
Like-
Anton, and Anton could just be a really fucking good killer, you know?
Yeah, like the only fantastical thing is that there's a guy who's really fucking good at being a hitman.
Not only that, but
It's
also
like
there's also one major point that like disproves the no country being a dream, which is the fact that after the sheriff talks about the dream, we see scenes of Anton interacting with people we know exist.
yes. Well, the sheriff describing the dream is the last scene.
Is it? Am I mixing up the scene order? Because if memory serves, he talks about the dream. They talk about like how shit the more shit changes, the more it stays the same. And then after that, he pays a visit to a house and then gets in a car crash, and the movie ends.
So that happens just before the ending of the movie. The ending of the movie is Sheriff Tom Bell, giving the ending speech to his wife. I had a dream. I saw my father. Which I've lived longer now than he ever has, which I guess makes him the younger man.
Yeah, that's if memory serves.
Yada yada.
Hmm.
And then he says, and I got up there, and what was it wasn't there, or something like that. And then it's like about 2 or 3 seconds of silence, and then cut to black, roll credits.
I'm moving the movie up just so I can check. Oh yeah, it is. You're right. That is after the Anton scene. But yeah, the dream is like he like one of them is he gave money to his dad, but or something the other way around, so that I could read that. I if I want to reach, I guess you could say that that's about the movie, if you really want to fucking reach. But the other one is that they were in the Old West. They were on horseback riding in the middle of the night, and he saw his father just pass him by. He didn't say a word or anything, with a torch lit, and to light a fire somewhere in the dark. And then he left, and there was nothing.
Yeah. Which, of course, you can argue about the meaning of that, but generally speaking, to me, since it's the title of the movie is "No Country for Old Men," and the focus of the whole Sheriff Bell storyline is that the older you get, the harder it is to put up with how evil people are. To me, that reads as, I thought that my father had built a better world for me to go into, but by the time I got there and got to be an adult, I found that no, things hadn't changed. People are still shitty.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that, like, 2 scenes before that, or, like, I guess a sequence before that, like, he literally says this word for word to the other guy. So...
Well, the other guy has to tell him, what was it? What you got ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
This country's hard on people. And of course, I'm a big fan. By the way, I guess it bears mentioning, huge spoilers for Fargo and No Country for Old Men, in case you ain't noticed that.
What?
But nonetheless, there's one thing I really love about No Country, and I'm curious to hear what you've got to think about it, because Mike disagrees with me a little bit. The final Anton Chigurh scene, right?
Yeah.
Him walking off with the broken arm. Mike interprets that as Anton Chigurh gets away again. I interpret that as Anton Chigurh, it's over for him. I'm personally really fond of the idea that the ending of No Country for Old Men is they all lose.
See,
5 players step up to the board to get this briefcase, and all of them lose.
I took it to mean, because he could still walk, but he was injured. I took it to mean that, like, even if he does get off, he's a changed man. Like, he might not be the same killer as before.
That's probably the most solid interpretation of that scene.
Because, like, he does get away. He doesn't go to jail. He tells the kids not to tell on him, which who knows if they did or not. Let's assume that they didn't. They actually kept their word. But, like, okay, so he walks off. Well, he has a broken arm with a fucking bone sticking out of it. he definitely still has pains from when he was shot in the leg. So like, you know, and like not only that, but like the thing that leads to him getting the broken arm also shows that he's slipping.
Yeah.
So like even if he does walk away, he won't be the same like efficient killer that he was before.
No. I think the ultimate, like, for me, the big thing is that for everybody that Anton could beat in a fight, the person that whoops his ass, not in a fight, he still kills her, but nonetheless, the person who whoops his ass and breaks his whole world philosophy is the most meager and unsuspecting character in the whole story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And to me, like, that seems like, for narrative purpose reasons, that it just fits a little bit better together. If it's for all intents and purposes, that is the defeat of Anton Chigurh.
Yeah. I also could roll with that, yeah. The one thing that I feel like they missed out on, which I can understand why they did. Like, this is one of those things where, like, I would have done it because I think it's funny, and I make movies based on, like, you know, I make choices based on, is this funny? Does this serve what I'm trying to say? And the coins strike me as, does this work for what I'm trying to say first? Kind of people. But
yeah.
But I feel like it could have been funny if Anton got into a thing with her mother. What's her face's mother? Instead of us just cutting to her getting her getting buried. Anton shows up and just takes care of her.
Yeah, I think that might have been a bit of mixed messaging for the movie's themes, but that is nonetheless a very amusing idea. They're like, yes, we're just gonna have fucking Anton Chigurh murder this old lady.
I mean, I figured it would be a...
Take this, Grandma!
I mean, to me, it could have worked narratively if it's a thing of like, okay, so Anton threatens that he'll kill the wife. They're in the process of getting away. I figured he'd first try to eliminate the wife and then go after the guy. And then she was not there, but her mother was giving away information to the Mexicans, I think. Anyway, so like he could have just went up there and just started, you know, send a message to the guy of like, I'm coming, but the movie was over after it, more or less. So like, or that part of the movie at least was over after it. So there was no time to build up like, all right, here's a message.
Yeah. All right, I gotta step out to pee real quick. I try not to step out in the middle of the podcast, but holy shit, I really need to pee.
All right.
Run for your country.
Well then, Pink. What did you think of No Country for Old Men, which I know you've seen?
Well,
15
yes,
times.
I'm a big fan of No Country for Old Men. I think the actor who plays Thanos in the MCU did a great job in that film.
I thought you were going to say that Thanos was in the movie.
He might have been. I think that was a post-credit scene.
Yeah. I mean, it really surprised me when they had like a full showdown between Thanos and Anton Chigurh.
Yeah, that was wild. It's like big showdown that I never thought I'd see in theaters ever, but I saw it live and in living color. It happened. Couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah, it's really surprising that they had the MCU Thanos design down in 2007.
Right? So like they were really paving the way for future comic book movies, if you really think about it.
Yeah, like it's like
without No Country for Old Men, we would have no Avengers. That's just how it is.
Yeah, like you can draw a line of like how it was like, all right, so Blade, No Country for Old Men, Iron Man, and then the MCU.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Hulk was in there somewhere, I think.
Yeah. So, but that was the Edward Norton Hulk before they recast him with Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm a much bigger fan of Ruffalo as an actor. I'm not a big fan of his Bruce Banner though, but I also don't like Bruce Banner in general.
Uh, they should do the same with Hawk, like they should with Spider-Man, where it's two different actors, one doing the in-suit Spider-Man shit and one doing the out-suit. Like, you know, one guy is Peter Parker, the other is Spider-Man, and we just have like a voice actor dub Spider-Man. Fuck it. Like imagine watching a Spider-Man movie, and then under credits for Spider-Man, there's 3 people.
Yeah. Also, throw in the stunt doubles as well. They need their due.
Starring Spider-Man, and it's like an entire page of names. I hear W's on the way back.
I heard
I
the
am
girl
back.
squeak. He's
All right.
here.
Pink and I just got done talking about the post-credit scene, No Country for Old Men, where Anton has a showdown with Thanos.
You know, that's fine. I'll do it myself. Oh shit! All right. Hang on just a second. I'm currently going through some candy.
Ooh, I like candy.
I bet you do. Yeah. All right. That's a probably don't want us to dwell on old No Country too much. I'm sure I'll find more excuses to talk with you about it somewhere down the line. If you think I found excuses to talk with you about it, Andy, you were not prepared for the day that you tell Mike that you watched it.
Like the movies I'm gonna be watching for movie history or stacked right for now. It was these two. I watched Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, of course. I'm gonna watch the Grand Budapest
Also
Hotel.
good. I've not watched it. I intend to. Wes Anderson has never much interested me, but Mike doesn't like Wes Anderson, and he says the Grand Budapest Hotel is amazing. So I figure, okay, if someone who doesn't like Wes Anderson says the movie's great, that's probably worth at least a look. Plus, it's Ray Fiennes all over it, and Ray Fiennes is awesome.
Yeah. See, the thing is, that they've already discussed Wes Anderson in university. They talked about his movies and his style and shit. And like, you know, it's one of those things where like people talk about these directors and stuff like that, and you know there are those moments where like I don't know if y'all have had this because you know creative job, you have to be inspired by shit, but like I listen to them describe Wes Anderson and go, I will probably be something akin to this, and like. My thing is that like Wes Anderson is mostly his style is mostly inspired by puppetry.
Puppetry,
yeah, which he makes a lot of puppet movies. So
yeah, he also does puppet movies, and that's also like he uses living people like puppets. So you know that's his style, which you know that's one of those things where like either you like it or you don't.
Is this the same guy who did the Scream franchise?
Well, no, hang on. No, that's Wes Craven, Pink. Wes Craven was Scream and Friday the 13th. Not Friday the 13th. So you throw me off guard here. I was not expecting this. Friday, Nightmare on Elm Street. There we go. Good luck.
That's the one.
So, okay. No, it is not. It is not Wes Craven. Wes Anderson directed Grand Budapest Hotel, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, The Royal Tenenbaums. Yeah, a good few more, but those are the 4 I can remember off the top of my head.
Those are the only 4 that matter. Fair enough. But yeah, so
Island of Dogs. Isle of Dogs. He did that one as well.
But yeah, like you know, it's not the same thing, but I know for a fact that that my movies will be inspired by anime, just because, like, you know, of course it will be. Like, you just do the things that you'd rather do instead of making live action movies with live action people.
Yeah.
Fuck it. But like I know for a fact that, like, one of the things that I want to bring into my movies is just like full on intro and out, maybe outro. I'll think about those, but intro sequences that summarize the plot but with symbolism. Because then I liked when anime do that, because you can just watch the intro and you go, huh, I'm interested in what happens in this, or the opposite.
I thought you were about to say anime doodah.
Yeah. You can look at that and you go, anime do that.
Anime doodah day.
Yeah. So yeah, Grand Budapest Hotel, and the other one that I'm supposed to watch is The Cook, the Thief, the wife and her lover, but that one isn't online, so I won't. I'll just write about it without having seen the movie, like I sometimes do when they just write out a movie and it's like and it's not available fucking anywhere. What do you mean you don't have this movie from 1989 in your collection? Just ready to watch, whatever. And then the other two, this one will also be written blind, because there's just, I genuinely cannot find any fucking place that sells any copies or just has it uploaded. But Cloverfield and Inception.
Okay. I would think those two would be a bit more available.
Not that I could find. Like, I can find clips, but clips are not really good enough to write a film analysis about.
No.
Yeah, like Cloverfield, I tried to find. Like, the thing is that, like, there's no physical media anymore in Hungary. There's no real, like, there's no, like, buying Blu-rays or buying DVDs. I'm sure there's like some place where you can still do that, but you sure as fuck can't anywhere where I've done it in the past.
Yeah, it's not really much of a thing here in the States anymore either.
And so, like, that's out of the question, because, like, over there at least you have Amazon. You can look up on Amazon and see if someone's sending a fucking DVD or a Blu-ray of a movie or whatever. But over here it's just streaming, and it's like, okay, well, I don't have access to HBO or Paramount Plus or any of the other ones. I have access to Netflix. Netflix doesn't have either of these. YouTube Movies doesn't have either of these. And, like, the place, the site that I go to, where sometimes people upload Hungarian dubbed versions of movies. Well, that doesn't have them either. So like,
yeah,
I'm
it's
just
not a good position.
I'm just shit out of luck. And, like, Cloverfield, I don't really mind not being able to watch Cloverfield, because I remember watching it when they had it on the TV, like, a couple of years after it came out, and I remember thinking it was fucking ass. Just the most boring shit that I saw at that time. It said Inception I would have been interested in, at least.
Not only is it ass, it's also fucking it.
Yeah. The Cloverfield monster is well known for buggering.
You never know, that might be true. A lot of that, you never really see the monster.
Yeah. And then the last two movies that I was supposed to watch are Birthday by Thomas Winterberg from 1998 and 4 months, 3 weeks, 2 days by Christian Monjeu, I think. And these are part of Dogma. They're Dogma films.
Okay.
Dogma films is a Danish thing, I think. The idea was that in the 90s, because movies have been going on for like 100 years or whatever, I forget, something like that. They went, oh well, the budget has ballooned too far in the 90s. There's too much technology in the 90s. We have to go
Mhm.
back. So we can only shoot in fucking 35mm film, and we cannot use any of these advanced technologies like sound. Nah, sound was allowed, but it was like whatever you can get from like, I don't know, budget of like $1,000 or something.
Ooh.
And so yeah, like Dogma films are basically like, let's try to make movie making more accessible. Problem is, most people, like, I know this might be hard to believe to people who actually like work in production and shit. $1,000 isn't something that most people have to make a movie with.
No.
So like, yeah, mission failed successfully. But yeah, like the Dogma films still exist if memory serves. Like there's also a thing. So Dogma was different from other movements in art in that Dogma actually had like a central thing in fucking Holland or whoever or wherever, where you had to send in your movie and they would tell you whether it was Dogma enough or not. And if it was Dogma
Oh.
enough, then it actually officially got a Dogma seal of approval and it got a Dogma number. So like these movies don't just have their titles of like, birthday or whatever. They're also like Dogma number 23 or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah. If memory serves, technically Dogma still exists. Like you can still probably send your movies in to get graded by one of the fucking assholes who did this. Well, no, you see, I know what good art is. Good art is my movies. And movies that are like my movies.
Oh.
Like it's one of them things where every time any of my fucking teachers in film school start bitching about the MCU, because they do this a lot. But every time one of them starts doing it, there's a point where like even people are starting to get sick of the MCU because there's nothing new under the sun, and like they're trying to tread water and hope that it's successful. So like, I can understand the unrest with that. But a lot of the shitting on the MCU and like otherwise just Hollywood movies in general that I hear, a lot of it comes off as fucking being salty. And it's just, well, why isn't the shitty art movie that I made about a drug addict, why it doesn't get the same numbers as Infinity War?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, in fairness, that was probably going on before Infinity War. And the thing is, if it got popular, then it no longer would be art.
Yeah. And that's the thing that I don't get. Like, why is it popular the opposite of art? Like, just because people like it, you know what people also like? Da Vinci, Van Gogh,
Who were not real artists, if you ask plenty of people.
But yeah, no, you see I'm fucking forgetting his name. The guy who paints squares, literally just color squares. Modern artist.
Yeah, you're a big fan of him, right?
He's not the guy that I hate the most, but but I do not like his part of art. No,
I could hear like the barely restrained rage there building up.
but yeah, like
He's
that guy.
Feral.
Like the thing with that too is that like I suppose he's also not an artist because he's made it big. Like he's a household name if you're actually moving art circles, and by art circles I mean if you open up an art book or talk with a fucking art snob.
If you're a dick.
Yeah. If you're a fucking asshole with no taste, just go deeper into it.
What an asshole.
Like this is one of those things where like Tarantino, to me, is sort of between my point of view and the art snobs, because Tarantino, like, you probably know this already, but like Tarantino, if memory serves, was a film critic and an actor before becoming a director.
Yeah.
And so, from his film critic days, like he is, well, okay, I don't know because I didn't read any of his critiques, but
Eh,
from the thing that they had me read that talked about this, like, going by that, like, they said, oh well, Tarantino, all of his movies are layered like onions because he knows how a good movie is made because he was a critic and shit, and like. Sometimes people just talk in layers. Like that's a normal human thing to do, and sometimes it's not intended for the movie. Like I know that people say that in like fiction movies that every last bit is pre-planned, but like if you actually do that, then you're probably like what's his name? Fucking hell. Hitchcock, I think, or whoever. Like there actually was a director, big director, who planned everything down to the last detail, and everyone fucking hated working with him. I wonder why.
well, there's Kubrick with his 3,000 shoots.
Oh, it could have been Kubrick then, yeah. But yeah, like there's some.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to mention this story. So, do you remember Harvey Keitel, Addy?
Vaguely. What did he do?
Right. Because he's Mr. White, I think,
yeah.
Reservoir Dogs, and in Pulp Fiction, he's the cleanup guy when Marvin got shot in the face.
Yeah. I know
So
the guy.
Harvey Keitel was cast on Eyes Wide Shut, which was a Stanley Kubrick movie. And there was one scene that was just simply Tom Cruise walks into the room, walks over to Harvey Keitel, and they shake hands and say hello. It was about a 5-second scene, right?
Yeah.
So they were on take number 30 when when they do this take, and Kubrick says, "No, do it again." And apparently he had not offered any actual advice or criticism. He just kept telling them to do the take again and again and again and again. So Harvey Keitel just turns to Kubrick and says, "No, fuck you. I quit," and just leaves.
Fair enough.
And Harvey Keitel is one of the most respected actors in Hollywood history, by the way. Like, Kevin Bacon has famously bragged about the Bacon number, that he is not any more than 3 degrees from anybody in Hollywood. The actor who actually has the best degree number for being connected to everybody who is anybody is Keitel.
Yeah.
And his reaction to Kubrick was, "No, fuck you, I'm out of here." Gary Oldman was once asked about the idea of working with Kubrick, and he pretty well said, I think I'd probably do like Keitel did. I don't think I could put up with that shit.
Fair enough. Yeah, it really feels like they want to mold us, or at least me, because I'm literally the only director student in the entire group. Everyone else is editors or cameramen. I'm the only director. But yeah, so like, sometimes it really feels like they want to mold me into a Kubrick like, where like, you just go no, and you do it again and whatever, and I do that already, but not to that extent. Like there is a point where you go, okay, we're not getting a better shot. Did we get the scene? Is there a thing that we can work with? You have to, like, maybe it's just because I'm not a director, or not just a director. Well, in the fucking shitty ass little things that I've done, I wasn't just a director. I was also the production manager and stuff like that. So like, my thing isn't just this needs to look right. My thing is this needs to look right in a realistic time frame, and from enough money that we can, and from as much money as we can afford.
Yes, the stance of a sane person.
Yeah. But yeah, like Tarantino, the reason I brought him up is because I read a quote from him, from one of the other things that they had me read, where he's like, oh well, I don't make movies for anyone else. I make just popcorn flicks, and I'm fine with that. And That's a pretty nice way to tell the fucking the high art assholes to go fuck themselves.
Tarantino is very much one of those guys who it is simply the perspective of, did I like this movie? Yes. Okay, then someone else out there will probably like it.
Yeah.
He's not looking to please the executives, nor is he really looking to please the arts guys, nor is he looking to please the critics, though he usually does. Quentin's perspective is, I want to make the movies that I wanted to see as a moviegoer, and presumably there will be moviegoers like myself that want to see the movies I make.
Yeah, and that to me is just the mindset that makes the most sense. You make the movie that you wanted to see.
I think I just read a quote from C.S. Lewis the other day that would more or less say, no, it was from Tolkien, but he said that C.S. Lewis told him at one point, just write what books you want to exist that don't yet.
Yeah.
And then Tolkien followed it up by saying, boy, did I not know what I was getting into with Lord of the Rings in that front. Thanks, Lewis, you dick.
Tolkien added, I fucked up. That's it.
I have made a mistake.
Yeah.
20 years of my life, gone.
What was I gonna say? There's also a problem, at least for me, in filmmaking, where like because I'm an ambitious guy, I want to make this story. All right, this story requires these things, and once I list out the things that are required, I go, okay, I will have the budget for this never, more or less. Because it's like, and like my movies, the movies that are in my head right now aren't even like that like high reaching. Like I'm not gonna make a fucking space opera. It's just like, all right. One of the movies I have in mind right now is a tragedy. It's a romance movie, a tragedy about two gay guys. And like, okay, so I need I don't know, a dozen actors, maybe a bit more. I need a suburban area that looks like America because I follow the president set by Italy, and I just make I'll make all of my movies set in fucking America. Fuck being here. So I need to have a suburban area that looks similar to that. Honestly, that's it. But like, getting the area, getting the permits, getting the lights, getting the gear to actually make the movie is when the movie goes from alright, actually somewhat reasonable to this needs like I don't know, fucking $50,000. And that's just not an amount of money that I can muster. Anyway, Christmas.
Yeah.
I love the part in No Country for Old Men where it was Christmas. It snowed.
Anton Chigurh shoved a Christmas tree up a dude's ass. It was crazy.
Yeah. Right, that was before he fought Thanos. So Nabia, your Christmas. I think you're the only one who hasn't talked about your Christmas.
Yeah, it was kind of a movie watching Christmas for me as well. Give me just a second. I'm responding to a YouTube comment.
Well, how dare you? You should just leave your comments in the dust.
He's typing, go fuck yourself, and send.
I wanted to, but I decided to be the bigger man and then respond unironically like the guy wasn't being a dick, so,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was it was not really intended to be a movie watching Christmas, but on Christmas Eve, my sister wanted to watch Godfather Part 2 as she was the only one in the family that had seen Godfather Part 2.
Oh, what does she think about it? Because I in my opinion, it was a completely unnecessary sequel.
She considers it superior to the first. I didn't agree, but Give me just a second. Sorry.
On my Christmas Eve, I watched the best Christmas movie, Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Yeah.
with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Good Lord. That is dealt with. Thank Christ. All right. So, yes, on Christmas Eve, we watched Godfather Part 2. And Godfather Part 2 is, it's still a good movie, right? But
I guess like it's better than mediocre, that's for sure. But it's certainly missing parts that the first one had, in my opinion.
I would say more than anything else. So I've heard for a long time, anyone that considers themselves to be of a higher taste than the mere peons, that Godfather Part 2 is the superior one. So I went in already with the bias of Godfather Part 2 is the one that's preferred by assholes. With that said,
that's why Ted likes it. Anyway, yeah.
He actually was saying that it was a cash grab when I brought up in the movie thread.
Oh well, a month ago he said that it's better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah. A month ago he said, and I quote, "The second one proves that executives make better art than artists."
Oh. Well, what the fuck? Well,
So
wait, was he meaning like I don't like this, but it's more artful?
I don't know. I don't know what he was
He
trying
moves
to
in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
I think a lot of Ted's views can kind of boil down to what mood you catch him in, you know?
I guess.
Either which way. Yeah, Godfather Part 2. I don't want to go on for too long because there's quite a few other movies. But Godfather Part 2, definitely slower, more drawn out movie that wants you to be there for 3 hours. So as rewatchability goes, Godfather Part 1 wins with pretty flying colors. Then again, isn't Godfather Part 1 still pretty close to 3 hours?
Yes, I watched both of them back to back. I watched the first one and I was like, wow, that felt like an hour and a half. I'm gonna go watch the second one. And then I watched the second one and I went, wow, that felt like 5 hours. Maybe 6.
Okay, I looked it up because I was curious. Ted did not clarify which Godfather movie he was talking about. He just says that the Godfather... Well, he does use singular here, so he may be referring to Godfather 1, but he says Godfather and Star Wars original trilogy.
We were talking about the
prove
second
that
one.
Money-minded people produce better art than artists.
We were talking about the second one in that context, so I assumed he was talking about the second one, not the first one.
Hang on. Let's see. Well, no, he says, I like all 3 Godfather movies, by the way. He doesn't really clarify. No, to me it reads as if anything, it's going to be the first, but he doesn't clarify. Nonetheless. Yeah, Godfather Part 2, it's neat to see like the end point of Michael Corleone's character development, and I will not be seeing Godfather Part 3 anytime soon. So for all intents and purposes, that is the end point. And I will say, the flashback scenes to young Don Corleone, Don Vito Corleone, are really cool. And they're probably the best part of the movie. And that really surprised me because I don't like Robert De Niro. But no, like watching it, it's like, no, Robert De Niro does a really good job in those scenes. They're shot really well. They're good period piece stuff. it's good stuff. But the present day scenes, what am I saying? Present day. The 1958 scenes, going back to the days of Michael and Fredo and the like. It's very long, it's very drawn out, and there's a whole lot of not anything happening in a good couple stretches.
That's what makes it art. Fucking nothing.
I know. So I think that the movie, like, it plays around with a lot of interesting ideas, because Michael and Fredo and Connie are all interesting in the 1958 parts. But you compare it to when they go back to 1917 or whenever it is that it's showing the rise of Don Corleone. And those scenes are the highlight of the movie. They are definitely the part you watch for. And I honestly say that for me, like, the best way to... There must be somebody who has recut the good parts of Godfather 2 into Godfather 1 and just made a 4-hour movie, right?
Yeah.
Because it's certainly, like... I don't think that... I do think Godfather Part 2 is a movie that likes to waste your time in considerable stretches. But there is also a lot there that is genuinely very good. Really, you only need a couple scenes, though, for what goes on between Michael and Fredo and Hyman Roth after Godfather Part 1 for the 1950s stuff. Most of what would be saved from Godfather Part 2 would be the 1910 stuff with Don Corleone.
Yeah.
Which I guess I should again clarify Vito Corleone, but that's so unusual to me. Because, like, I know Michael's the Don by...
But he's not really.
2, so
he's Michael.
Yeah, like in my head, it's Vito's name is Don Corleone. You know?
Yeah. I agree that the flashbacks are the highlights of the second movie. To me, the second movie just really is missing the spice of the first one for multiple reasons. Like, narratively, it's missing the spice. The modern day segments, you know. Close enough. When Michael is into the animus.
It wasn't even contemporary. I nearly called it contemporary segments. The movie was made in the fucking 70s.
Yeah. But yeah, like,
okay.
You know, the more modern segments, I guess, if you want. Technically, that is true.
For the bits that did have the spice, I do want to mention when Vito kills the douchebag, small-time so-called mob boss, and he wraps the gun and his arm in the towel to obscure the gun. And then it lights on fire on his hand. Is that not the coolest shit?
Yeah. I barely remember this because all I remember of Godfather 2 is the flashback sequences and what's his face, the guy who wasn't in the family becoming Don because Michael steps down for politics reasons. Something like that.
No, he doesn't.
Well, no, he does and he doesn't. He makes the other guy Don for the length of the movie so that he won't get killed or whatever.
Right. He steps away from Nevada for a while, and while he's away, Tom Hagen's left in charge of Nevada.
Yeah. But yeah, and then a major thing is, I don't know how Hollywood changed or, you know, how Hollywood functioned back then in the 70s. But from what I can tell, it might have been a similar thing to how we used to function around similar times, where the main the director of photography would decide the lighting, and they, if memory serves, between the two movies, they changed the directors of photography.
Yeah, they still make good use of lighting, but it's not so much as Godfather Part 1, which does such good lighting.
That's the thing. I disagree. The new guy they got is competent, but he doesn't have the spice. That's the difference to me, is that the guy they got for the second movie is completely fine movie cinematographer. They do a good job, but they don't do anything special. The first guy played around with effect lighting, which is what, you know, the very stylized lighting is called. He plays around with effect lighting. There's fucking narrative charge in some of the camera movements. Like, one of my favorite scenes in The Godfather Part 1, the first one, is the ending scene, because there's a lot of symbolism in how the camera fucking moves, how the shots are framed. The entire last stretch of that movie, where Michael and his wife are arguing, and then Michael gets called away. And we see Michael leave into the other room, and we slowly zoom out while they talk, and then we see the window or whatever, the door frame come into frame, and then they shut the door. There's such strong symbolism for how he is in a different world to her now, and
and he's deliberately shutting her out.
Yes, and that is just a thing that, like, for one, I don't know if it was Coppola or if it was the director of photography who came up with that idea. Whoever it was, good idea. That is one of those things where that I wouldn't expect out of the second movie. It just doesn't have that sort of thinking. So, like,
the cinematography is definitely a lot less cool. Other than, I did include in the voice chat, by the way, the shot that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I saw.
Which is that is a fucking badass shot.
Yeah. Although, not to be nitpicky, but it could have been framed a bit better.
Oh yeah, it's framed from beneath. I guess because at that point, the dude that he just shot has now fallen on his ass from being shot.
But not only that, but shooting people from underneath makes them seem larger, so they get more imposing and more they seem more powerful. So it might have been that.
That's true.
But it's not down quite enough where it really uses that effect, and also it's a bit too close to his action line. So this is a movie thing. So people, or just things in general have an action line. They also have a camera line. Or something like that. I forget what the other name is for the other line, but it's basically the Z and the Y axis. This is where the 180 rule comes into play, because the action line is usually drawn. Well, this is where the arguments can become, because as far as I'm aware, it is ill-defined where the action line is drawn and how. Generally speaking, the action line is drawn either from where the face is facing, where the body is facing, or where the action is facing. That's the action line name. The action in this shot is facing, the action is where the gun is pointing, basically. So, we are very close to breaking the 180-degree rule if we were to move into a different camera. It is very close to just being on the line, and you generally don't really want to be on the line. Like, you either want to be very much on the line, or you want to be very much not on the line. You don't want to be in this middle ground where it's kind of on the line, but not really. So, like, of course, I don't know how this room was laid out, so maybe it was impossible to do. But if there was a chance, they could have just taken a step to the right, or two. So we see a bit more of Michael's face. And then the shot would have felt a bit more better framed, I guess. But that's it.
Yeah.
Me going to film school accidentally has been a plague on Pink.
I was about to. I think we need to. All right, let me hit the rest of the movies real quick. I'm gonna speed run them though, because this is not gonna be so important. All right. For whatever reason, we threw on Jingle All the Way, which, Pink, you've seen Jingle All the Way, right?
Yeah.
Delightfully stupid movie. Gleefully stupid movie. I forgot just how delightful Arnold's pronunciation is of Turbo Mandar, the Turbo Mandar. And then from there, for some reason we started Pulp Fiction.
Sure.
That's very Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a Christmas in What's Her Face's nose. There's a lot of snow.
Come to think of it, Godfather did fit better, because Godfather, at least part one, does heavily involve Christmas. But Pulp Fiction, no, there's no overlap. Oh Lord, but yeah, Pulp Fiction, fun movie. It's, I forgot. No, I guess there's nothing really new to say about that. But one movie that I did see for the first time, and I'm curious if you've seen it before, Pink, because you seem like a mild Christmas movie guy. For the first time, I saw the 1984 Christmas Carol with George C. Scott as Scrooge.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, George C. Scott was the guy that was the actor that got nominated at several points and won an Oscar, in spite of the fact that he hates the Oscars, refused to attend, refused the one Oscar they gave him, and called it a meat parade, and thought it was horseshit to give out awards for acting performances because it was impossible for anyone to really have enough authority in judging them to determine which one was the best in any given year.
I'm really liking the sounds of this guy.
He's pretty cool. And he puts in an absolutely fucking killer performance as Scrooge in 1984 Christmas Carol. I gotta highly recommend it. It is a really, really good Christmas Carol rendition. Christmas Carol is one of those fun ones. There are some stories that are just a lot of fun because you're seeing several different creators have wildly different interpretations of it, right?
Yeah.
So Christmas Carol, there's always, okay, how's Scrooge gonna be? Okay, what are we gonna do with, what are we gonna do with Bob Cratchit? What are we gonna do with each of the ghosts? Because the ghosts, they can be wildly different in interpretation with the ghosts. That's where you get to really have fun with the Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something really fucked up.
Nothing calls for a fucked up statement like Christmas Carol.
I mean, the thing is, my favorite Christmas stories were movies or just in general, I guess, or one of the ones where it's about like orphans freezing to death nearly.
Why? So, anyways, yeah, right, all right. The ghosts are cool, but really the reason to watch it is that George C. Scott does a fucking phenomenal job as Scrooge and puts in one hellacious performance where he simultaneously makes Scrooge believable as a scumbag, but he also manages to make you really sympathetic to him and feel bad for him because, like, being a huge piece of shit has just actually made Scrooge a really sad, lonely person. It turns out being a dick to everyone you know doesn't make you a lot of friends. Oh, shit. All right. So that's the extent of the movies I saw on Christmas. So, Pink, quickly, we should discuss something that concerns you. What concerns you, friend?
Does concern me. I don't know. I didn't do anything super noteworthy on Christmas. My Christmas buddy got me a plush Appa, which is great, from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'm gonna take a picture of it later and send it in the random Discord thread. What they're called. So you'll be able to see it, bear witness to it. It's the greatest. And I don't really have anything noteworthy to say about Christmas. I just spent the day with my family. Spent most of the day with my dog. Had fun time with him. He's a little psychopath when he sees me after a long time. And I typically in years past, I've usually like the New Year's Eve, I would like binge play through a game like something old or archaic and something I don't usually play. Like in years past, I've played through like Civ 3 on Christmas Eve, or I've done like Stronghold on Christmas Eve, though that's not really something archaic because I play that a lot anyway. But this year, since I didn't have my computer or anything with me, I only brought my Switch over so we could play the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I instead binged a little bit of Hades, which I had not played in a couple months. And I picked up a run that apparently I left off on like the final section before you get to the end game boss, which was a mistake. Because I was like, oh yeah, the sticks. This is just home, right? No, it's not. That's the realm before you get to home.
Yeah, that is, my God, that's he's not the big man himself is not a particularly soft boss fight to come back to.
No, and then there are the couple chambers I had to work through beforehand. In addition to that, which not a fun experience, especially when you're going in completely blind. It's been several months since I played Hades, so I didn't even know what weapon I had until I used my attack button. I didn't know what boons I had, so I had to open up the little quick menu to check those out. I still don't know why my casts weren't working. I assume it was some sort of boon and or a Daedalus hammer that was making them do other things, but I never figured that out. And I did get my ass kicked pretty handily at the end, so I did not beat Hades my first round back after 7 months. But yeah, spent a few hours playing through Hades on Christmas Eve, which was a lot of fun. Very Christmassy game. Jolly good
Made
time.
a very bold choice, I must say.
Oh, I love that game.
It's a good game, but shit, that's an intense place to start.
Yeah, there's never been a Hades run where I've ever felt so handily powerful that I could like be super confident going to face Hades just at any given point. They were very strategic about how much power they want to give you, which I commend them. But yeah, definitely could have stood be a bit more prepared for that. And
I don't think I've ever gotten to hate like no, excuse me. I've gotten to Hades feeling like, oh man, this time I'm going to whoop Hades' ass. I've never beaten Hades and went, oh, that was an easy one.
I think I've had that happen maybe once. Definitely with a shield, because the shield can ease a lot of the stress since you can hide behind it like a coward.
That's true, especially if you take the whatever upgrade it was for the shield that allows you to bounce people into each other for big damage, because then you can bounce the little douchebags that Hades summons you can just throw at Hades. So
yeah. The shield with probably a few, not Aphrodite, pardon me. It starts with an A. It's Athena. Kept wanting to say Aphrodite or Artemis. It's neither of those. It's Athena. The shield with Athena boons, that usually gets pretty comfortable because the deflect is so good in that game, and they have yet to bring it back in Hades 2. It's sad, but yeah, the comfortable runs I've had where I've been very confident facing Hades, those are very few and far between. I can count maybe 2 on one hand. Not just because I can't count very high, but because it's very much a rarity. But what else did we do? Nothing much else. We watched Die Hard. We watched the first 15 minutes of the Polar Express, and I told my brother to turn that off. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm done with tradition. Let it die.
I think we were gonna play the Polar Express if only you had been free.
That's true. We were supposed to do that. Hate that movie. But yeah, I spent a good portion of the night playing Marvel vs. Capcom with my brother as well. And that was the extent of the Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we all open presents and eat waffles. That's about the extent of that.
Shit, to occupy a whole day, that'd have to be a lot of waffles.
Oh, they space everything out. They like open a present, or they open the stockings when they first wake up. Then they'll open a present. Then we get started on breakfast, and then we'll take a break. Then we'll come back to the presents later. So they drag it on for a while. It was a lot of fun when I was little, but now that I'm a grown-ass adult with not enough time on my hands, I was kind of feeling ready to go by the time noon hit, and we still hadn't hit all the presents.
Yeah, I'll say on my end, generally speaking, we space out everyone their presents, and then everybody goes berserk and starts opening. I wasn't ready for it this year. I went around, handed out my presents to everyone, and then I sat down and I'm watching Jingle All the Way, looking at it and going, all right. what's that I hear out my left ear? And I notice everyone else has started opening their presents, and I'm still just watching Jingle All the Way. Like, oh shit, well, I guess I better get around to doing this. I was too enamored by Arnold's Turbo Man doll. The cookies. Anywho, yeah, all right. Christmas. I think, realistically speaking, Christmas was a success on all fronts then.
Oh, definitely.
Think it's good we go out on top in regards to Christmas. Anything else, though, who knows? Maybe we go out on bottom. What are you boys thinking?
I don't mind switching it up a bit, you know, be a little bit adventurous.
Oh, now I'm really mixed up. I don't know what's happening.
I shut up so Ping took my role.
Oh, no. Oh.
Well, there's only one thing to say now, I guess.
What would that be?
Christmas.
Oh, no. Why you do this?